Are we level? Ah, we're level. G'day and welcome to part 2 of rehashing our little grocery hack. I'm not going to go too far with this one. Well, I might have gone a little bit too far. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Right, box of Starly stuff. It's been under the house and the snails have eaten it a bit. And it's been under there since, I don't know, about 5 years. So let's have a look inside. It's going to appear to be a whole lot of junk, but this is stuff off the red car when it was written off, and I'm particularly interested to see the wiring. So we've got tail light covers, and the main loom. We've got door seals, we've got these things for the rear windows on the two-door ones, wind lacing. So I'll take all these out. Good thing about Toyota rubbers, they're absolutely beautiful. They stay nice and soft. On the end of this, we'll just take the whole lot out, eh? What I'm interested in though is the wiring, and I want to have a look at that because that's going to tell us a lot about what we need to do on the car we've got. So there's your main loom, and I know that's your electric doors and everything. You can see that. That's the rear loom. What's this one? Handbrake or something? Driver's door speaker. Or driver's side speaker. Anyway, let's put this out and have a look. Right. This is a full set of 98.99 Starly wiring looms. There's a few of them there. And there are a lot of differences between these and the earlier cars. Of course, fuses and relays. This runs across the front of the car. You've got the air conditioning bit there. These are the two grommets. There's one there and one there. These are the ones that are larger on the later cars and enter the cabin through here. You can see they're smaller on these earlier cars, and it's the same on the other side. So if you remember, the earlier car has a large connector going straight in the firewall, which isn't present on the later car. So that's where they go in. And so your large block connectors here sit on the inside, or the base of the A pillar. There's one there and there's one over there, and that's how the front looms, the engine looms, connect. There's your injectors on your engine. That's the actual engine loom there with the battery bit on it, the battery connector and so forth. Alternator plugs, all these sorts of other things. Your dash loom with the glove box lock. They're your power door looms for your power pack, and they plug in those. Now this early car does have plugs down there. I need to check that they're the same. Of course, all the other stuff. The SRS wiring is all the yellow stuff. That would be the airbag there. That goes into the control module. Moving forward, this is your rear loom. Of course, that little yellow plug is a seatbelt pretensioner, and where's the other one? There, that's the other side seatbelt pretensioner. And of course they plug into the ECU as well, or the control module as well. And then of course we go off, meandering up toward the tailgate, and that's about it. Now, none of this is important for me to reuse. The only time we're going to use it is basically if the dash or cluster looms are different. So there are three. There's one here, one there, and one here. And I want to make damn sure these are all the same. Now the black wire should be the tack feed. This one here. It's actually got tape around it. Why is there tape around that? Maybe that's Toyota that did that. I didn't do it. This is out of the red power pack car that was hit by the cyclist. I kept everything out of it. That blue, pale blue one is another power pack car. So these accessories I want in this car. Yeah, I want power steering, which doesn't use any wiring. I want air conditioning, which we've got. There's air conditioning there. And I want all the door stuff. Now, the door looms, I would imagine, would be quite hard to get. They've got the grommets there to go between the A pillar and the door, right down to the door lock bits, and I've got the both of them. There's the other one over there. But they're not drilled. Toyota didn't drill them. So we have a round embossed part there where it'll go, and another one in there. So it's going to go around about in there. So once we've washed this thing down, I'm going to drill the holes to suit these sort of ID in there. And I think they're the same. They might not be, but it's important that we get that right. So what I want to do, I've sort of set that up as best I can to represent in the car. There's the bonnet cable there, and there's some birds up there, and all that sort of stuff. Now, if I can get away without using that loom, it's going to be a lot easier. So if I have to, I will put a blank in that one there, where the main loom is on the earlier model, and I'll drill those, which I have to do anyway. These holes here, because they're already drilled, they're going to be hard, so I'll just tack weld a piece of steel either side, so it'll hold the hole saw as I go through it and into the cabin. Right, well I guess the first thing is we have to have some tea. Here's our 98 power pack loom. Here's our 97 not power pack loom. Perhaps it might be easier if I pull them out from behind. Might give us a bit more visibility, hey? One can only hope. Whoops. Right, so there are 3 plugs, white, grey and brown, which is the same as this. Yeah, so we're off to a good start. These plugs look to be configured in pretty much the same way. I'm just going to go and get my other glasses so I can see better. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. So if we look at these plugs, which one goes where? That looks to go there, which it does. So that fits. No, that's the power pack one. Let's try this one. Perfect. Alright, so we know the brown one fits. Let's have a look at the pins and the wires. One's wrapped in green tape, one's wrapped in grey. And they all look, we've got 3, space of 1, da, 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 they're all wired the same, although, hang on a minute, no they're not. We have, these 2 are lit and not that one there, but I don't know what they are. Okay, so that's something of a concern. They're not wired the same. So this could be like the Fairlane / Fairmont GXL, where we have to relocate some pins. Are these the same? What have we got here? We'll just pull these out and have a look. And if they're wrong, we'll just move them over, because the instrument cluster is going to be all changed. Okay, there's a blue one with a white trace. No idea what that is. So we've got brown with silver, which is there. We've got red with silver, which is there. We've got pink with black with silver, which is there. We've got a straight black one that then turns into a large fat brown thing, and that's the same, although that's orange. I'm tipping I'm going to be changing this, guys. And the rest of it looks fairly right. There's yellow with a white trace and a silver bit. That's all in there. So these bits are wired the same. That tack feed looks to be wired the same. We've just got a discrepancy with these ones here. So some of them aren't wired the same. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Looking at these ones here, it's probably a similar story. The grey plug. Again, they're wired differently. Those 2 are the same, but they're all shifted over. Are they the same colour? They actually look to be quite similar. But we're missing a black and white. Or white with a black trace. And the white one lastly, they all look to be identical. They do look to be quite the same, although even then the colouring's different there. Alright, so there's 2 ways of doing this. One, we can use our 98 loom, which I'll be inclined to do, and the second thing we can do is re-pin them. But I need to do research to figure out what's what. Right, so here we have the side of the loom that goes down to the base of the A pillar, and this is the part which is, that's the original 98 car. And these connectors, I had a quick look a minute ago, are identical. The way they're pinned is identical. A slightly heavier black and white wire, heavier gauge than what these are. That could be an upgrade. They probably didn't carry enough current, so they've gone for a heavier cable. The side loom, on the other hand, is different in colouring, but the pins are situated in exactly the same spot. That being said, on the loom itself, the blue one, the heavy blue, which is that guy, isn't lit up. It's not connected. So that would be a power window feed or something to that effect. So look, there are differences with that. Okay, well, considering the evidence and what we've got before us, I think the only thing to do is to pull it completely to bits to a rolling shell. Everything out. Everything out of the interior. Doors off, everything. Then we're going to give it a good bath, steam clean it, all in the plenum, everything, and repaint the thing and put it back together the way I want to. I'm never going to be happy with this colour. I keep deliberating over it and thinking, yeah, I can do this, or no, I can't. I don't want to. I just want the thing to be the way I want it to be. So the challenge with these in disassembling a car like this is just remembering where absolutely everything goes. They can be confusing, a lot more complicated than the Fords and whatnot, but easier at the same time. There's a lot of stuff on them just makes sense. But that being said, they are quite complicated in terms of all the odds and ends that are sort of strewn across them. It's only daily, but the issue I've got is that I love the other car. I'm very fond of it. And so if I put this together the way I don't want it, then I won't like it. That's just all there is to it. And I want to be able to hang on to it for as long as I can and enjoy it for what it is. And so I'm just going to go around, take everything off. Some stuff can stay on the body. I'll leave the exhaust in there. If I get some overspray on that, I couldn't care less because it'll just burn off. But yeah, I'm just never going to be happy with it. And so I've thought and thought and thought, and this is the conclusion I've arrived at. Rightio, we're still pulling a few bits of our little Starling. Eradicating the loom, all that sort of stuff. It's easy stuff to do. Perhaps the most time-consuming bit is just sort of bagging and tagging all these sort of bolts and brackets and things like that. I don't know how far I'm going to go with it tonight. I might just continue and get that main part of the loom out, but I need to get a guy over here to decommission the air, and once I've done that, I can pull the evaporator out and release the looms, pull them all out, and we're good to go. So it's a reasonably slow process, but a reasonably easy one too. Let's get in there. Once it's stripped, the inside's extremely fast to strip. I might keep the screen out, and I think then I've got to take these rubber strips out, or at least on the other side, and there's a lot of dirt and muck in there. These things are pressed, all the side is one pressing, and they're joined to the turret in here underneath. And once that's all out, I will steam clean all the inside and all out here. I'm thinking I might use this bonnet. It's got a small dent there, but nothing much. The other one's got a crease in it, but it's a very, very fine sort of crease. This colour looks great on the camera, but it's a drab sort of burgundy. I think they call it Beaujolais. It does look, it looks nice on the camera. It's quite deep, but it's not. And of course, this car's a mess. So this will become a spare parts hack. It still runs very well at the moment. I'm keeping it running, and I'll use it, pardon me, as a map when I wire all this up. Alright, well I had a friend drop around and evacuate this for me. So we can take all the air conditioning stuff out. And that will pop out from behind. Let's take those brackets off. Oh, I've got the wiring loom along the way. Come on, out you get. Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to block up. Make sure no crap gets in there, in these sorts of lines here, or places. Just like that. It'll just keep it all cleaner inside. And it just means cleaning the thing up and painting it's going to be so much easier with all that little stuff here. I actually don't like painting anything with when there's stuff in situ, if you know what I mean. And we're getting very, very close. The interior's not out yet, but that's just a couple of bolts. There's no big deal with that at all. It's actually quite a pleasurable little job. Oops. So I need to get this out to release the loom from under here. There's a loom that crosses over from one side of the car to the other. I'm going to put this over here. And that just means with this released, I don't know what that is. Because the loader models don't have it. This is some sort of accessory that's taped up and it's got a cap over the contact area. So this is just now, where's my needle nose ply? And it's there that. This is just a matter of the loom's ready to come out. And the one thing I forgot, which is the obvious thing, and I always do, is I think of everything and then forget about the small things that are important, and that's the horn, because the horn on the 98 is earthed through the clock spring, the spiral cable if you prefer, where these, it actually is conventional with a ring on the back of the steering wheel. Yeah, there's got to be another one of these somewhere. Oh, here it is. And I think this guy now, oh, get out, is ready to come out. Okay, there's multiple fastenings. Oh yeah, there are too. That's what the Japanese are so good for, is just being thorough. Everything's secured properly. The Aussie cars are so much easier because there's not all these little clips and things everywhere. Oh, that really hurt. No, I took skin off. In fact, I did take skin off. Some of the sharp edges. Yeah, look, it grazed it. See that? That's bleeding. That happens because everything's so sharp on the edges. I might go and put a band-aid on that. But this now is ready to give up. And there we have our loom. Hang on, take that off. And it's all here. These are beautifully easy to pull apart. They're really designed well. The first thing you take off is the aircon evaporator. Then you can take your fan out. That's just a few bolts, and we've got to take the heater box out. It's all sort of tied into this crash bar. We can take these uprights out. They're all bolted in, but they're so well thought out. They're lovely, lovely cars to pull apart. And I think these are interchangeable with the later models, these shifter mechanisms. And again, we'll just stick this stuff in a bag so we know unequivocally where everything comes from. There's another loom there, that's the rear loom. One of the rear looms. There's quite a few looms in these things. Now I've got to have a look at how the horn works on this, or at least how to adapt it. And that'll just pull out. I might just put that thing back on here. That might be the order of the day. Just so we don't lose anything, because I will if I'm not careful. Get a bit carried away. There's a reason for this, mainly just that I felt like it. So we're not done yet. I just want to pull a bit more stuff out. I want to pull this carpet out. It looks as though we've got a water leak under here, and I would like to know where that's coming from. And I'll find out too. That carpet's very wet. So it's going to get more water in when I steam clean it all. It's dry on this side, but I want that sorted. I don't want water inside a car. Not going to happen. So I think what we'll do is we'll continue pulling it apart, give it a vacuum, and hit it with a high pressure cleaner. We'll take these off. These suck, these things. Look at that. I've got some almost new ones from a car at the wrecker. I might drop the headlining too. It's come apart at the top and the sun visors are crap, so I'll just take the other headlining as well. These look bloody awful. Look at this. See, it's all sort of pitted. You can scratch it with your fingernail. Absolutely knackered. So I'm going to pull them out. They've got clips in them. Actually, I've got to take that windlace off first. Hang on. Can I get my thumb under there? Oh, get off. Lift them up, and I've got like much better ones of these. I've got much better ones of everything really, and these I can just bin. And is this one of the ones? Some of these seat belts are pre-tension type. Yes, I think it is. we'll pull that belt buckle out or real spool out and see what it looks like. But yeah, this stuff, I'm not interested in that. What is that too? Is it replaceable? No, it's going to bond it on. Never mind. That can go. That can go into the bin actually, and we'll take this one off too. Have a good look behind there. Have a bit of a chat afterwards. Let's pull this back. Look at the bracing. They're actually quite a strong looking structure. I want to get that seatbelt out. These looms are different. I'm not really sure what that is. Unless... it won't be an interior light for a 5-door. I might just take the rest of this out. There's all sorts of... it's grotty in here. I just want to clean it all out. I'm going to give it a good power wash, I think. Yeah. Oh, get off. That is better. Nice strong little piece. There you go. Same as the other one I had, 97, and it's got a seatbelt pretensioner which isn't wide in. That's most unusual. Takata? No, I don't think so. At least I hope not. It doesn't matter. It won't be connected anyway. Right, so here we are. We're nearly ready to take the rest of the carpet out. Here's the pretensioner. If you look in there carefully, you can see the piston down the bottom, just there. This one has the... this is the left one, and it doesn't have the switch in it. The left ones on the 98, 99s have a switch in them, which is for the warning light on the dash. They have two separate warning lights on them. Here we go. Dirt, mud, focus. What are you doing? That's bad. The other difference is the top of the fuel pump. The stuff in there is all different too. So we'll take that out and we'll shake it out. There's a pen there and there's a bolt that's not from the car. We've got a drawing pin and a few other bits of rubbish. So I'll take that out. I've got to box up all this stuff here and then we're ready. Alright, I think we've got all bases covered pretty well. You can see the carpet here. It's all sort of bare and horrible. I've got a hole in it. I need to find out that water leak. I'm a bit worried about it. Well, I'm not worried, I don't really care. But, whatever the case, time to ditch this. We've got another carpet that's almost like new old stock, it's that good. So we can just pull this one out and have a good look around. Just sort of forward like that, there we go. I've left the seat bolts in there. I probably should have taken them out, but I don't think it matters too much. Go on, nick off over that side. And as usual, everything's perfect. We'll just take these bungs out here. Well, it's fairly crummy, but one of the advantages with taking everything out, I want to be able to... I want to make absolutely sure I know where this water's coming in. So by taking off that firewall insulation, I'm just wondering if it's a bit damp at the top. It might be my imagination, I don't know. But I'll be able to see, so I think the first thing we'll do tomorrow is water test it, but I might just put the bonnet back on for that. But that will give us an idea of where this water's coming from, because I want to eradicate that. And that way we can know that we put the thing back together, we're not going to get water through it. So it's not a totally wasted exercise. It is unusual to be pulling a car apart this much, but I don't think it matters. It's kind of fun anyway. So I'll take that off. I might pop the looms out as well. I don't really feel like getting them too wet, but it's all looking pretty good. Right, got a bit of cleaning up to do. You can see this here. This isn't actually a bad colour. It's quite nice. I did think, well, Dave had the idea of just painting the roof, which we can do with a litre of paint, the top of the guard, and blending it in down here. I thought about this, and blending it in down there is pretty possible, and then clearing the whole thing with a metal flake in it that shows off a whole lot of different colours, which would look good. The problem is though, the car's kind of all scratched up, so I might just change the colour anyway. We've got enough bits now to almost do it. Like it's not hard. It's pretty grotty inside. But I think the first order of business is to do a water test, find out where this water's coming in that was going all over the floor. I might just vacuum it first so I don't end up with mud down there. But yeah, it's not that bad. Better idea. Tailgate's lovely. The rear bumper's good, bit of delaminating but not too bad. But when we go around this side, there's a bunch of dents. There's one there, there's a scratch with a bit of a dent on that crown bit there. Here, there's one. There's one, there. And the door's folded on the edge. The rest of the door's really good. There's a bit of a dent there. Yeah, I can't clear over all that. That being said, that's nice paint on the door. That's solid, there's no delamination, so I'll scuff that. That's the best way to handle it. Right, we've had a water leak in here, and I'm sort of keen to see where it's coming from. The water was sort of coming down. That grommet, I've got a quarter drive extension going through it. There was water coming in there. I just want to see if it's still coming in. Looks like it's stopped for now. It's a very important sealing area, that grommet where I pointed out before, because all of your planning chamber drains right next to it, and water running down from your screen drains right around there too. So it looks like that's what the problem was. I can't see anywhere else where the water would come in. Let's give it a bit of a hose off, see what happens. Nope, not a drop. This is never a good sight. Somebody has put Solastic in here. That is a fundamental no-no. It corrodes. Gotta get out slowly. Solastic has absolutely no place on the body of a car. It doesn't have it on the engine of a car either, only the exhaust. For this sort of thing you would use urethane, which is the windscreen type sealer. But yeah, that's just looking for trouble. Now if that had been a local car, an old local car, that would have corroded there because of that. Unless it's neutral cure, they might have used a neutral cure adhesive, but you can't tell when it's set, or at least I can't. So we'll just need to dig that out. We need to clean this channel right out. Power wash it, get a toothbrush, get all the dirt out, and see what we got. Well, do you reckon I might have got a bit carried away? Yeah, but it's grunty, so I want to clean it up. Not much left. Not much left really. With colour changes though, they're kind of blue everywhere. But that doesn't matter. The problem is, if I could just clear it, it wouldn't be an issue. But I don't want to give the car a whole paint job in this colour. If it was fine, you know what, I probably would have left it, but might as well change it, because I want to. So we're going to have a power washer and clean up everywhere, and it'll clean up nicely. That's just with the hose. I've got to block the exhaust off. I think it's going to rain tonight. Is that going to rain? It looks pretty good now, but you never know. Oh, we've been doing heaps of work on Dave's van too. But yeah, it's a bit overcast over there. Anyway, who cares? I'm not the weatherman. Blocked off the canister and fuel return. I've left all that there. That can stay. Who cares? And I'll take all the brakes off before I paint it. I just want to power wash it for now, and this can stay outside, just like that. Sort of. Yeah, that can stay there. Maybe I should take the brakes off before. I haven't got the tap on enough, it's running out of water. Wrong doing this, but it's so look good at the same time. what, it's come up alright, hasn't it? It's almost a pity to paint it. Show me another 22-year-old trash car that cleans up like this. Alright, let's survey this. Tell me if you think I'm being a total dick. Actually, don't tell me. I think I already know the answer. We've printed the hose off. Nice and clean. A bit cleaner than I thought it would be. Like, it's a lot cleaner than I thought it would be. Like, it's mammothly cleaner than I thought it would be. I missed a bit there. I mean, it's a friggin' peach. What to do? I'll show you a couple of colours. I wasn't keen on this blue, but it has grown a wee bit. I'm going to get that sticky residue off. But now I'm in this deep. But yeah, it just sort of felt like pulling it apart. You know when you get up and you think, I'm going to have a lazy day, I'm going to watch a movie. I got up and thought, I might pull a starling apart. How stupid was that? But I kind of dig it, you know what I mean? Like, it's fun. In these roof seams, very nice. What about the one that had goop in it? It's elastic. So all that has to be painted. There's still bits, remnants of this elastic in there. Oh, I can't even see, I can't be bothered stepping up, but that gives you the gist of what we've got. You can see down here where the leak was, and the lint had sort of chewed the carpet up and acted as an abrasive. But it still hasn't gone through that galvanising, or that dipping stuff they use. I'll take my extension out too. I like it. I've run out of sandwich bags, which is why I've got all the bolts back in. Need to take those out because likely to get a bit of electrolysis happening in there. You can see I haven't done up there too well. I can just wipe that off. That dusty stuff. But at the end of the day, she ain't too bad. Where to now? I hear you ask. Well, the easiest thing to do would be to fill in a few small dents, scratches, stuff like that. Just rub it back, basically. It's very easy to paint the interior because it's thin. The only parts that are properly painted are sort of on the inside of the C pillar and the B pillar, which you see. All this stuff's covered by trims, so it doesn't matter. I can just sort of blow over there with some primer, paint it. Do that in very, very little time because it's not even thickly painted. It's just sort of, some of it looks like overspray. Like in those areas there and up here. But if I leave the dark blue, I won't bother. But I've kind of pulled it apart a lot. Because I wanted to, huh? Because it's fun. Oh, have I got behind there? Yeah, that's fairly clean. We're not going to do any plating of bolts or any stupid stuff like that. This is just daily. But I kind of want it the way I want it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted a safe, clean colour and bright colour, that sort of stuff. Kick the screen out. We'll do that. And I'm just, it's dead easy painting behind these, masking behind them. If you look over there, these are really, really easy. But the problem is the outside. I got the power wash in here, and just mud came out of there. Can you see that small? Go focus. Can you see that small seal? Even when you cut them out from the inside, it destroys it, and you get them off, and they're just munted. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. That's the only dilemma I've got. I can put fine line tape in there. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. Just dig fine line tape down there and mark the window off, hey? Let me know what you think. There are going to be people probably watching this and know a heck of a lot more about this stuff than I do. It's just a bit of leftover stuff in the headlining, just adhesive. But if you leave comments like "you're an idiot," I kind of know that. Sort of expecting that, but no, I know what I want, and I'll put some colours up in a moment on the screen and show you what I'm thinking of. Right, so here's a couple of colours. This is apple green. Don't see many of these. I've seen them on Japanese cars and English cars, but not Aussie ones. Coral rose pearl is another one. It's kind of a watermelon colour. People call it pink, but yeah, it's just like, I think it's a watermelon. There's one there. It looks a bit faded out though. The next one is bright ivy. This is on a Corolla, I think, and that's quite nice. And of course, the next one being, what's the other one? Bright turquoise pearl. Right, that's the one I'm sort of thinking of. And there's another view of it, and in some light it obviously looks blue, and in some other lights it looks green. I'm assuming this starlet here is bright turquoise pearl as well. But that's just food for thought. My mum, who's the main person that'll be in here, aside from me, likes the idea of aqua. And I kind of like that idea too. Anyway, I'll have another video shortly. In the next video we'll know the colour. In the next video we'll have half of it primed. Some dents taken out, because this is going to be a very short series. I'm guessing this is part 2. I'm guessing probably 8 videos. But I've been well wrong with that. But this car's not hard. This car's labour intensive, but not parts intensive. So, you know, the engine that comes out of that, I'll just put a clutch on it, in it. The wiring, I'm having second thoughts. I might try and use the original wiring and modify it to suit the tacho dash and all that stuff. So it's a bit of work, but I've got almost new tyres on it, so I might do brake rotors and, you know, drive shafts and a clutch or something. I'll need a windscreen too, because this windscreen's got a bullseye in it. But aside from that, I've got everything else. I'm not expecting to spend another cent. So it should be a nice cheap car. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves. Enjoy your, well, it's not really a classic, and I'll see you around. What do you reckon? Shit.